All right, what is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Easter. All right, we've got 16 MLB games today. We do have a doubleheader. We're going to talk about all of those games. But first, let's recap yesterday. Rip the Band-Aid off. Terrible day. A little unlucky here, but it is what it is. So we went 1 and 4. So Landon Roop under 6.5 Ks. He just absolutely went off. He looked amazing. Ended up with 7. I'm sorry, 9. Phillies raced to 5. That was sweat free. I got to start laddering that one because that one's just been easy money. Reds money line did not pan out. Hunter Green got tagged. They were just sitting on his fastball. It's like they knew what was coming and they were just tattooing it. We also had the Reds race to 4. This one we got real unlucky. Candelario, slow ass Candelario somehow gets picked off at first. Reds go double, single. We would have hit this race to 4 had he not got picked off at first. So that was extremely frustrating. And then we had the Padres money line. They ended up blowing it. In the bottom of the 7th, they tied. Houston tied the game at 2 and then took the lead in the 8th. Padres had numerous chances to tie the game or take the lead and just could not come up with a clutch hit at all. So, it is what it is. Good breaks, bad breaks. It all evens out in the end. Just happened we were on the wrong side yesterday. So let's have a good bounce back day. First game on the card today is going to be Cleveland. And this is not right. There we go. All right. It's still Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but we had the wrong day down there. All right. So in this game, we've got Logan Allen going up against Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller versus Cleveland has not been a good story. He is 0-2 with a 6.61 ERA in 3 games against Cleveland. He's only pitched 1 game at home against them. That was back in 2023. That did not go well. 6 innings, 10 hits, 8 earned runs. This is a very left-handed dominant lineup, which Keller has struggled with this season. He's done great against righties, only given up a 143 average. Turned around the lefties, though. He's given up a 333 average. Now, on the other side, we've got Logan Allen. Pitched a Cy Young performance last game. I know because we were hedging against him. But he struggled against lefties. So he and Mitch Keller both struggle with lefties. Big difference in this game. Cleveland's going to be bringing 7 left-handed hitters to this game, whereas Pittsburgh, a little light on the lefties. Allen pitches okay against righties. What Allen has done well is he doesn't give up hard contact, right? He is a junk ball pitcher, only throws the fastball about 40% of the time, throws a cutter about 10% of the time, and then it's pretty much slider splitter for about 50% of his pitches. So something that Pittsburgh has definitely struggled with is kind of the junk ball, right? They hit the lefty fastball okay, but anything else, really struggling. They are bottom of the league in terms of hitting splitters and sliders. So I like this spot for Logan Allen. I don't love it, but I do like it. And I think Cleveland's going to absolutely torch Mitch Keller. So give me Cleveland on the money line as our first official play in this game. In terms of the weather, 62 degrees, low humidity, high pressure, so that is going to impact carry. And we do have a 5-mile-an-hour wind slightly blowing in from left field. So that is going to kill right-handers hitting pull home runs. So home runs are down 37% today, but runs are still staying pretty neutral here. So give me Cleveland. Like Cleveland team total over. Another play I looked at in that game was both teams to score 3 runs. That's a nice little play there you can look at, but we're just going to go with Cleveland here. Next game is going to be Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. Jesus Luzardo going up against Colin Gillespie. Gillespie, not bad, 0-1, but he's only given up an opponent average of 200, which is actually better than Luzardo. Basically the same, but Luzardo 203. Luzardo's had a heck of a start to the year. Just really one bad game. But if we look at the weather in this game, it's going to impact everything. It's 63 degrees, mid humidity and high pressure. And we've got an 11-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field. So that is going to severely hamper right-handed hitters, in my opinion, on the pull side. Kind of the same scenarios as we talked about last game. Philly's got 5 left-handed hitters. Miami only has 3. My only concern here is Philadelphia does travel to New York tomorrow to play a division game against the Mets. So kind of makes me wonder on the back end, right? Hopefully Jesus has a really nice game and goes deep. That said, the Marlins have been hitting lefties really well. Over the last 14 days, they're second in baseball. Over the last week, they're fourth in terms of hitting lefties. So they're above 300. It does make me a little nervous. It's getaway day, but I trust the Phillies should be able to get to Connor Gillespie. So we're going to take kind of an interesting play in this one. We do have a play. It's a weird one, but we'll talk about it at the end in the best bets here. All right, next game is going to be the Reds and the Orioles. The Reds are going to be throwing out, I think Randy Wynn is going to be the person. They had Carson Spires on there, but he threw last night, so I don't think he's going to pitch today. I'd say it's extremely unlikely. So I think it's going to be Randy Wynn getting the call up. He's not good. He is really not good. Expected batting average of like 417. So nothing I can really trust here on the Red side. Charlie Morton on the other side of the mound. Now, Charlie's had a rough season. He's an older guy. That said, he's had a lot of success against the Reds in his career. I won't say a lot, but he's been pretty decent. I think for the Reds, what's going to kill him is they just don't hit breaking stuff well. And he is to the age now where he throws a ton of curveballs. He throws a cutter, a fastball, and a changeup. I think that curveball is going to kill the Reds. So in this spot, I would lean Orioles. We're going to take Orioles. Race to 4 is one of our official plays. 68 degrees, low humidity, high pressure, 9-mile-an-hour wind that's going to be blowing in from left field. Orioles have a lot of power bats on that left-handed side, so we'll definitely lean Orioles. But we're going to take Orioles. Race to 4 as our official play in this one at -105. Next game is going to be the Twins and the Braves. We've got Grant Holmes going up against Joe Ryan in this one. Another game, I just can't trust the offenses. I'm just not there yet with either team. I think you're getting good value to take the Twins at +100. I don't trust either team offensively. Both pitchers have been pitching really well. Grant Holmes giving up a 158 average. He's 1-1 on the year with a 3.78 ERA. Joe Ryan, 1-1 with a 192 opponent average, 2.45 ERA. So I do like the way Joe Ryan has looked this season. He's looked really, really good. In terms of weather, we have a 7-mile-an-hour wind blowing directly in the face, 78 degrees, mid-humidity, high pressure. So it's a very high-pressure day across the board today. I almost want to take the under in this one, but 7.5 just, I can't get there. I've got the Twins winning this, so give me the Twins. I got it 4 to 3.5. So it's a tight one there, right on that line. But yeah, it's just one. I wouldn't put money on any of this, to be honest. Maybe a Nerfy. It's about the only thing I could think of in this game that I would put money on. Next game, speaking of games I don't want to touch, White Sox and the Red Sox. Tanner Houck going up against Sean Burke. This is just a poop fest of a game. We saw Boston barely get through yesterday. It's going to be 52 degrees. We got a 16-mile-an-hour wind basically blowing from left to right. So third base to first base. Going to be low humidity, another high-pressure day. Home runs are going to be down 37%. Runs are actually up 3%. So this over-under 9 would be great if I had any faith the White Sox could hit the ball. They're hitting 194 over the last week against righties, 172 over the last 2 weeks. I mean, they're dead last in almost every offensive statistical category. Sean Burke going for the White Sox. He is 1-2 with a 6.08 ERA, expected ERA of 9, giving up an opponent average of 245. So he's definitely pitched good against lefties, though. He's only given up 100 average to lefties, but 333 to righties. Hard hit percentage, not terrible. It's actually below league average. Tanner Houck on the other side, 0-2, giving up an opponent average of 351. He's got a 9.16 ERA right now, expected ERA of 6.79. Good news, everything he throws, which he's a 3-pitch pitcher. He throws a fastball, a splitter, and a slider. White Sox are terrible against. So, I don't know how you take the Red Sox at -278, but I guess that would be the side, maybe the over. But with home runs being down so much, but runs are supposed to be up, yeah, this is a poop game for me. Tanner Houck giving up a 436 average to lefties, 263 to righties, 55% hard hit percentage. I mean, the only thing is here, he's at home if you want to find an angle, but I can't trust him to take the Red Sox run line. Still not a lot of value there. So this is a complete fade for me. I could not find a spot here that I felt there was any value whatsoever. Next game, Mariners and the Blue Jays. Luis Castillo will be taking on Easton Lucas in this game. If we look at Luis Castillo, 1-1, opponent average of 206. Easton Lucas, 2-1, opponent average of 185. Had a really bad last outing, so he needs a bounce back spot here. Mariners have not hit lefties well over the last 2 weeks. They're 29th out of 30 teams in terms of their average. That said, I still kind of lean Mariners. I think Castillo at home should be pretty serviceable. That changeup is just still very disgusting. Does a good job of keeping his fastball low. He is a ground ball pitcher. Easton Lucas is a fly ball pitcher. I think some of these bats on the Mariners should be able to get some pop today. So give me the Mariners minus 120. Not an official play, just where I would lean. Not putting any money on this game either. I wouldn't mind the over 8, but I actually think Castillo is going to have a pretty decent day. So that's where I'm at with that game. Next one's going to be the Cardinals and the Mets. Sonny Gray going up against Clay Holmes. This is tough for me because I don't really trust Clay Holmes whatsoever. That said, I don't really trust Sonny Gray against the Mets. They have absolutely dominated him. This lineup, these players have had a lot of success against Sonny Gray. But that said, he's pitching really well this year. He's 3-0, opponent average of 188. Clay Holmes, 2-1, opponent average of 237, but his walk rate scares me. He's got a 12.4% walk rate compared to Sonny Gray, who's at 3.5%. Both of them are strikeout pitchers so far this year. Sonny Gray, 27% strikeout percentage. Clay Holmes, 31.5%. Pitch Mitch just doesn't look great for Clay Holmes. Cardinals are fourth hitting right-handed fastballs, which he throws 42% of the time. Throws a decent amount of changeups, about 17% of the time. Cardinals are actually number 1 hitting the changeup. Now, where they're deficient in is the slider and the cutter, which are 2 pitches he throws. Throws a slider about 29% of the time, so could have some success there. I want to lean Mets, but the weather, everything kind of makes me a little nervous. We got a 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field. It's going to be 63 degrees with high pressure, low humidity. It's just not good for carry. Kind of takes the pop away from some of these Mets hitters. The fact that it's blowing in from left field, though, you could look at that. The left-handed guys have a little bit of an advantage. But Clay Holmes giving up a 263 average to lefties, 222 to righties. Whereas Sonny Gray, 200 to lefties, 180 to righties. His hard hit percentage is a little higher. I like the Nerfy in this spot. Both of these teams are bottom 5 in terms of runs scored in the first inning, only scoring a run in about 1 out of every 5 games in the first inning. Both of them are at exactly 19.05%. So I do like the Nerfy. It's just juiced at minus 140, so not a ton of value to take that there. But we see the Mets, absolutely rolling at home. They're 8-1 on the season at home, 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 3 straight. So, Cardinals struggling against teams with records over 500. They're 5-10 on the year. Mets are 4-2. So, seems like a Met spot. Minus 142 is a little juicy for me to put my faith in Clay Holmes. And they've got Philadelphia coming up tomorrow. So, what is their bullpen usage going to look like? Kind of makes me a little bit nervous in that one. I think the value is on taking the Cardinals at plus 120, but probably won't be putting my money on this game. Should be a decent game to watch defensively, I guess, from a pitching standpoint, hopefully. Next game is going to be the Royals and the Tigers. Royals, congratulations, guys. On the season, they are averaging less than 2 runs a game. That is terribly pathetic. Tariq Skubal on the mound, so life doesn't get better today. Going up against Michael Wacha. Wacha 0-2 with a 236 opponent average. Skubal 2-2 with a 222 opponent average. This is one where we have a 9-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field. It's going to be 54 degrees with high pressure. Just not good for scoring runs. Now on the flip side, Wacha is a fly ball pitcher, so maybe could help him. But I can't find a Royal spot here. They're struggling to score. Their offense is terrible. I think they just sent Melendez down to the minors. They got to find something. Pitch mix looks fantastic for Skubal. Kansas City, 29th in the league, hitting the fastball. Dead last hitting the changeup. Combine those two, he throws that about 84% of the time. So it just doesn't look good for this Royals team. Struggling to hit with runners in scoring position. They're next to last behind the White Sox. Whereas this Tigers team's actually been really well with runners in scoring position. They just got to find a little more offense. But this is a clear spot to take the Tigers. So we're going to take a kind of a modified line here. Again, we'll talk about that at the end, but we're going to get a little creative. We got a decent amount of plus money plays today. All right, next game is going to be the Yankees and the Rays. Max Fried going up against Ryan Pepio. I don't understand this line at all. I think the Yankees should destroy Pepio. His pitch mix is terrible. Terrible for this team. That said, Rays are hitting lefties, hitting 256 off of lefties over the last week, 244 over the last 2 weeks. So this is a top 12 team offensively versus lefties. Neither one of these pitchers really give up a hard hit. They actually have the exact same hard hit percentage, 32.7%. Exit velo is pretty low. Pepio is definitely worse against righties, giving up a 270 average, but he's still giving up a 260 average versus lefties. Max Fried against lefties is actually a little weaker, giving up a 263 average, 241 to righties. So both of these guys' opponent average is fairly high. Fried 247, Pepio 262 on the year. Crazy game last night, by the way. If you watched it, it looked like a easy Yankees win, and the Rays ended up storming back and hitting some home runs to get back in that. So pretty crazy game. I like the Yankees to bounce back. Yankees run line. I like that play today. I think they absolutely smack Pepio, and Fried should have a pretty good day. Neutral field advantage, pretty much both a home game for both teams, so to speak. Athletics and the Brew Crew. Another line that doesn't make sense to me. We've got the Brew Crew here bringing out, I think it's going to be Logan Anderson. It's a righty. He's like their 12th pitching prospect. Now, he's got great stuff, but he has some control issues. So he's 2-1 with a 3.21 ERA. He's got 24 Ks, so does great on the Ks, but he's also got 10 walks, and he's given up some home runs. So I think you kind of look at the majors. He said he's got a good changeup, fastball, but he likes to work high in the zone. I think in the majors, that's going to burn you. So I like this spot for the A's. This was probably the play I had that was going to make the card but didn't. I think Springs should have a pretty good day. Brewers have been struggling over the last week to hit against lefties. WRC plus of 21 with a 30% strikeout percentage. So I think Springs has some success here today. I think the Athletics get the job done. So give me the A's on the money line here. Getting too good a value, minus 105 with a proven starter versus a minor leaguer coming up. All right, next game is going to be the D-backs and Cubs. I want nothing to do with this game. Absolutely nothing. It is red everywhere. That said, 50 degrees, high humidity, high pressure, 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from right field. That's like a 35-mile-an-hour wind at other fields. Home runs are going to be down 41%, runs down 27%. That said, still kind of want to take the over. Two really bad pitchers here, Merrill Kelly and Jameson Tyone. Pitch mixes are absolutely terrible for Merrill Kelly. He throws the fastball 46% of the time. Cubs are 7th hitting the fastball. Throws the cutter about 9% of the time. Cubs are 2nd hitting the cutter. Throws a slider about 10% of the time. Cubs are 2nd hitting sliders. Curveball is the only thing the Cubs really suck at, and he throws that about 14% of the time. Throws a changeup 22% of the time. Cubs are 4th hitting that. Go to the other side with Tyone. Throws a fastball 50% of the time. D-backs are number 1 hitting righty fastballs. Throws a cutter 15% of the time. D-backs are 7th. Slider 15% of the time. D-backs are 5th. He throws a changeup 6% of the time. D-backs are 3rd. So it's just a really tough spot from a handicapping perspective. Merrill Kelly's given up a 263 average to lefties, 223 to righties, 48% hard hit percentage. Tyone's given up a 308 average to righties, but he is doing well against lefties at 191. Hard hit percentage is less at 38%. So it's a wild game to handicap. Two teams that are actually just blistering the ball lately. We look at the runs per game over the last 3 games. Obviously, it's horribly skewed because the 24 runs they scored the other day. Cubs are averaging 7 runs. D-backs are averaging 6.33. So I still kind of want to take the over. It hit yesterday, although this wind is much stronger today. It's about 2.5 times stronger. So I don't know which way this game's going to go. I'd lean Cubs just because they're absolutely on fire. It's at Wrigley. They're used to playing in that field, and they're 6-4 at home. They're on a nice little streak. But yeah, really tough game from a handicapping perspective. All right, next game, Dodgers and the Rangers. Tyler Mahle going up against Tyler Glasnow. The two Tylers kicking it off. Now, Mahle has not had a ton of success against the Dodgers. You got to remember, he pitched for the Reds for a while, so he did face them in the NL. He's 2-3 with a 4.55 ERA. That said, last time he pitched against them was 2022. We saw Texas hit a walk-off last night. So I like the Dodgers to come back and just absolutely throw a beating on them today. We've had Shohei on paternity list. He is back today, or he's supposed to be back. So give me the Dodgers on the run line. I think Glasnow should have some success today. Rangers really not hitting too well. And what Glasnow throws, he should find some success. Texas 24th hitting the fastball, which he throws 58% of the time. They're 26th hitting the curveball, and his curveball is absolutely nasty. Throws that 24% of the time. Now, the slider, they could find some success. They are hitting 11th in the league in terms of hitting the slider. And then the Dodgers for Mahle just doesn't throw anything that's going to really get by him. I think his strikeout percentage is a lot higher than it has been. He's at a 23%, but he's also at a 13% walk rate. So that does scare me. Same thing with Glasnow, though. 16% walk rate. Way too many walks, but we've seen him get better and better with each start this year. So I like the way he's trending. Give me the Dodgers in this one. Mahle's splits have been really good, like too good. Opponent average of 109. But going up against this Dodgers lineup, it's just different. And we've seen some pretty low-scoring games so far. We're due for some offensive output in this one. So give me the Dodgers run line at plus 105 as one of our official plays. Just too good a value. If I can get them at plus money, I'm going to take it. Next game. This is game one of the doubleheader. Nats and the Rockies. Jake Irvin against Kyle Freeland. I'm torn on this one. I was on the Nats yesterday, and that one ended up coming through. It got sweaty, but it came through. 9-mile-an-hour wind in from left center/center field. Although the wind plays very little effect here. It's kind of crazy. Mid-pressure, mid-humidity. Home runs are going to be up 2%. Runs are going to be up 22%. And we're getting an over-under of 10.5, which is actually really low given the metrics here. But we're getting that because Freeland at home is pretty good. That said, he's 0-3 on the year, but he's got a 4.88 ERA. He's just on a team that can't hit. So that's my concern with taking an over here. You don't really know what you're going to get from either of these lineups. Washington against lefties has been abysmal. They're hitting a 188 average over the last week, just really struggling. Rockies against righties, though, same story. They're struggling, 26th with a 207 average. Irvin on the road, usually a good spot to fade him. So I don't really know which way this game's going to go. I would lean Rockies at minus 108 just because Freeland at home is a little bit better. But yeah, this one could go either way. So I'm not touching either of the games of the doubleheader. Next game, Giants and the Angels. Giants got it done yesterday, 3-2. We got Verlander going up against Yusei Kikuchi today. It's going to be 72 degrees. Really nice day. Mid-humidity, mid-pressure. We got an 11-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right field. So it's kind of the first day we've seen the wind blowing out here. And you got Verlander, which Verlander at home's an insta-fade. Verlander away, typically somebody you want to get behind. But this year, oh man, it's like he starts off okay, and then he just blows up, and everything explodes on him. So I can't really get behind him. That said, Kikuchi not having the best start to his year. So you got a guy with a 7 ERA and a guy with a 5 ERA. You got an over-under of 8.5 and the wind blowing out. I would lean towards the over. Another one where we really haven't seen a ton of offense. It's an angel spot for me. I can't trust Verlander right now. But and the Giants haven't been hitting lefties well all year. They got a 190 average over the last 2 weeks, 189 over the last 7 days. But what they are doing is, man, when they get runners in scoring position, they are absolutely on fire. One of the best teams in baseball in terms of that runners in scoring position. Hitting 328 over the past week, 283 on the season. Those are both third in Major League Baseball. And the Angels are 12th. So Yes, two pitchers that I think are going to be very hittable, but Verlander is definitely way more hittable. So I would lean Angels, maybe take the team total over if you don't trust them full game with Kikuchi. That's how I see that game. Next game, Padres and the Astros. Dylan Cease going up against Framber Valdez. Cease giving up a 286 average on the season. Valdez 238. Valdez and Cease are similar pitchers to me. You don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get an excellent outing or you're going to get absolute horrendous outing. And I don't know which is which. Valdez giving up a 316 average to lefties, 215 to righties. Dylan Cease giving up a 361 average to righties, 229 to lefties. That said, they're both capable of going out and throwing a no-hitter today. So I don't know which way the wind's going to blow in this game. I would lean towards the over. And I would lean towards the Astros just because Dylan Cease, I don't trust him, frankly. We know he's capable of going out and giving up 5, 6, 7 runs in the first inning. So it's a complete fade for me. I think you're flipping a coin on this game. But a lefty against the Padres hasn't really been so good lately. They've been hitting lefties pretty dang well. And they've been converting runners to scoring position. Now, what the Padres do when Dylan Cease pitches is they give him a ton of runs. He's averaging 5.75 runs a start. Valdez is kind of the opposite. They've struggled to get him runs. He's only averaging 2.75 run support. So that kind of leans you to take the Padres at plus money. We just saw him piss away a game last night. I'm just kind of torn on that. The one thing I didn't look at is if Hader pitched again. That would be back-to-back nights for him if he did. I know they pitched Bobby Abreu in the 8th, so that could be a lean as the bullpen might be a little more taxed for the Astros. So there's spots on both sides, man. But these pitchers are absolute coin flips, and I don't feel like there's an advantage in terms of picking a side here. All right, last game is going to be the doubleheader, the second game. I think it's going to be Brad Lord against Antonio Senzatella. Senzatella is an insta-fade for me. We'll have kind of similar weather, 9-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from center field. It's going to be about 57 degrees. But this guy is he's given up so many hits. He's got an opponent average of 424. 424. That said, Brad Lord giving up an average of 314. So this is a game where if we're still getting an over-under of 10.5, give me the over. I don't trust either of these pitchers, but we need to see how the first game goes. If we see the first game's a little low scoring, which I think it will be, then I might look to bang the over. If I'm having a good day, I'm coming down to the last game of the day, I would just bang the over and call it a day in this one. So that is how I see it, guys. Let's get into our best bets, get you guys on your way. First play on the card today. Like I said, we're going to be taking a little weird approach to this game. I wanted to go back to the race, but the race, the books are on to it. So we're going to have to give that one a little break. But what I do like, I think the Phillies win. With Jesus Luzardo on the mound, the way the wind direction is, the lefty advantage they have, give me Miami team total over 1.5. This team still hits lefties well. They should be able to score 2 runs. And then Philly to not bat in the 9th. Put those two together, you get plus 116. Give me Cleveland on the money line. This is just looking at historical Cleveland against Mitch Keller and the pitch splits. Everything looks good. Cleveland spot, in my opinion. Give me the Orioles race to 4. We got Randy Wynn, I believe, for the Reds going up against a very powerful Orioles lineup that has all of a sudden found some pop. Give me the Tigers race to 3 and the total under 9. So a bit of a negative correlation play there to get some plus money. Royals have not been scoring. It seems unlikely they would just all of a sudden blow a bunch of runs against Tariq Skubal, but it could happen. It's Sunday. Anything can happen. And then our last play is going to be the Dodgers on the run line at plus 105. Just trusting that Glasnow has a pretty decent day and the Dodgers team's able to get to Tyler Mahle. I just think they're due for an absolute offensive showcase today. So we're hoping that happens. But those are the plays, guys. Happy Easter. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video.